Hey guys, this is Richard at reefs.com, and we're in the show floor of Aquashella Dallas 2023. And I'm actually here in Coral Reefs booth with my new friend Craig. How you doing, Craig?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good,
Good there, man. Nice to meet you probably again.
Yep. And we wanted to introduce this amazing product to you guys, and this is called Parwise. Craig?
Yeah, thank you so much. So this is our light meter, covers all of the different lighting parameters that you can have.
Right.
So we're measuring par, spectrum, daily light integral, which is the amount of light into the tank in 24 hours.
Right.
Kelvin, lux, approximate color, peak wavelength, everything you could possibly need to get the light recipe for your aquarium.
You know, what's really interesting about this, besides the fact that this has a built-in spectrometer in it, but it also measures the DLI of your aquarium.
Yeah,
and this
absolutely.
is something that not a lot of people know about, because they think that par is actually the absolute value of lighting in your aquarium, which you and I know that's not true.
Yeah, no, it's really not.
If you have a minute, do you think you could tell us a little bit about DLI and why is it so important in our aquarium?
Yeah, absolutely. So DLI is the total amount of light that you're going to put in the aquarium in 24 hours. And I guess probably a nice way to liken it is if you think about how much food you consume in a day,
You're right.
that's how much energy we required for that day.
Right.
This is exactly the same case. So DLI is putting the amount of light that you need for those corals and plants or whatever it is you want to grow in 24 hours. Whereas par is just a snapshot of the total amount of light available that second when you measure it.
Yeah.
Which is great, it's useful. You don't want to be able to overdo it, and you want to be able to have enough to start with. But throughout your day and night cycle, you want to know the total amount going in, and that's what DLI is about.
Gotcha. And then when you were telling me about DLI of the 24-hour period, I didn't know that this item you could leave in your tank for 24 hours period to just leave it in there to collect that data. So this is you could leave it into your system and just
absolutely. So Parwise is it's a tough little sensor.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't go swinging it around your house, but it's built to be able to be underwater to do those measurements for 24 hours or however long you need it to do it. Really, it's totally submersible and waterproof.
Gotcha. And this platform, what does it work with?
So Parwise works on any PC, modern PC. Obviously, if you've got a really ancient one, XP is probably not going to work, but any modern PC. Macs are absolutely fine, desktop laptops, any Android phone or tablet. It does come with a USB-C adapter.
Okay.
It's got a normal USB plug-on otherwise.
Right.
This isn't the adapter it comes with, this is just one to fit this particular tablet.
Sure.
But the only things it doesn't work on, unfortunately, is iOS and iPad OS.
Because
Apple
that
don't
USB.
yet allow USB OTG and Web USB.
Right.
Which is kind of strange because they allow it on their Macs, but it's definitely a them problem, not an us problem. They can switch it on overnight if they wanted to.
Gotcha.
So maybe they will, who knows?
Gotcha. So can you give us a little bit of demonstration of this, how the spectrometer works?
Yeah, sure. So to get started, you just need to go to par-wise.com, hit the app button, and it'll bring up this page we have here. And then what you're going to do is plug in your Parwise into your device. Depending on the device, such as Macs and PCs, they will pop up with connect to your Parwise. You click that, you don't even need to put the web address in. So once you've got that set up, you click connect. It'll ask you which Parwise, because you can have more than one Parwise connected at one time, should you need to. You click connect. Some devices will ask you if you want to use Web USB, just click OK. And then we are in, and that is it. That's all the install there is. There's nothing to it. The app will download in the background and save to your browser. You need to use Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge as your browser to use Parwise, but that's pretty much everyone uses anyway.
Gotcha.
And it'll download and it'll save in the browser within seconds. Obviously, this one's already done it. And then you can use it offline. So you only need to be on the internet the very first time you plug it in, and that's it. So first of all, we come up with the home dashboard. And you've got all of your standard light parameters here. Unless you've had a 24-hour light period, your DLI is calculated, and now with the sensors on, we can see that it's going to increase because we're now measuring throughout the day.
Right.
So you've got your basic light parameters, and we can see here that we've got a coral image in the background. That means we're in underwater calibration.
Okay.
We have two calibrations, underwater, and if you hit this little button here, we get some plants grown hydroponically. This is for in-air measurements. It's not freshwater, it's in air. So if you're growing tomatoes in a greenhouse or whatever it is you might want to grow, that is the mode for that. So it's 2 sensors in one, really, which is really quite cool.
So I think it's neat that you guys actually put the immersion effect into account.
That's exactly it, yeah. So we've got future software versions in development, and there is an immersion difference between freshwater and saltwater, so we're just trying to work that out at the moment. So we can hopefully add that in for people later on.
Gotcha. I noticed that like this one, you said that this was like done by a web browser, right?
That's right.
So if I wanted to save, let's say for example, I have a data that I wanted to like from this today to next Sunday, right? How would I be able to have that into a data, like so I could save it as a record?
So you can't export data out of the Parwise web app just yet.
Okay.
What you can do is when you're looking at the spectrum and also the DLI on a computer, whether it be PC or Mac, you can right-click and save the graph.
Okay.
I don't think you can do it on any tablet. Some phones allow it, but not all of them.
Gotcha.
So if we're looking at the DLI measurement, which you go on the menu, then you go down to Time Analyzer, you can just right-click and save the graph. This graph is not a nice bell curve as you might expect from a nice dimming cycle, or if you've left it outside on a sunny day. This is because
it's an LED light.
And we've only just turned it on. So you can see that we're measuring from 10:30 today up to. Actually, this is still on from yesterday because it's been on all that time. So that's overnight where it had no light, basically. So this is the DLI readout, and down the bottom here, you've got your total DLI measurement for the day, but obviously you need to leave it running for your full photo period to be able to get that accurate measurement.
So, like for example, for like guys like me who love data and just knowing that information, and if I were to just leave it plugged into, let's say, a tablet, because I have a display in my tank, and if I were to plug it in, leave it in there, would it be able to just give me for like, let's say, a reading total of, let's say, average of like a week or so, if I just leave it on completely?
It does it per 24 hours.
Oh, per 24 hours.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So so you essentially only need to run it for that amount of time. However, it will keep recording, so you'll see the day and night cycles on the graph. You'll just you can zoom in and out on the graph as well. So you would be able to do that, but you wouldn't get an average for that amount of time.
Gotcha. And you know what really surprised me about this unit is the price. So for the viewers at home, can you tell us how much this unit costs?
So Parwise is $299. And when we were designing this thing, we looked at all of the other products that are out there.
Right.
We can't really see why they're that expensive. And we want to be able to bring light measurements of all of the light measurements that you need to be able to do, the PAR spectrum and the DLI, to everybody, because it's such useful information. You know, just having PAR on its own is only a third of the triangle that makes up the light recipe for animals.
Right. Data is so important, and then to be able to adjust, by having that data instead of doing it blindly is such an important tool that we could utilize. And like you said before, PAR is not the absolute thing in our hobby, and having that, knowing the spectrum, knowing the DLI, I think could be an imperative tool, and moving forward and creating a thriving environment for our corals and animals.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want, and we want to be able to provide the tool for people to do that. And we hope as well that going forward, people are going to start sharing their spectrums, their DLI, and their peak PAR, because it's still relevant, for different species. So I don't know, let's say an Aquaman Monty or whatever, and you want to share your success with it. You're going to need to give the full recipe, because we give people their nitrate and their phosphate and the calcium manganate readings and everything like that. These are all the light parameters that go with it.
Right, like you're providing more, so that more information, so there'll be less variables out there, so a better chance of that replicating that success.
Exactly. So it makes it a lot easier for people. And you mentioned as well, being able to do long DLI measurements. If you've got a tablet like this, doesn't matter what brand, this is just a USB-C adapter from Amazon. Other ones are available. And you can, using one of these, obviously we don't supply it, but you can plug in a power supply into this thing to power the tablet at the same time as using the USB. Obviously you can just use a laptop, but I thought I'd throw that in there because it's quite a useful little feature.
For sure, definitely, because a lot of people do have like a tablet to display what the information on their tank and etc.
Yeah, that's it, and they leave them plugged in on powers, and you need the only port on them to plug it in, so you can use these little things.
For sure.
It'll obviously depend on what model of tablet you've got. You know, we can't list them all, so you'll have to check with the manufacturer.
Gotcha. So now this unit is already out in the US. Where do we find these units?
So these are available through all of the common places online. I'd always say, please buy through your local fish store, support your local fish shop. And if your local fish store doesn't have them, they can buy them through CoralView.
CoralView, got it. Well, Craig, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Sharing this information and this wonderful product with us. And I look forward to getting my hands on this unit and try it myself for our viewers at home. And if you guys have any questions, please comment down in the video below, and we'll be sure to get to all the answers that you need. And thank you for watching this video, guys, and have a great day.
Thank you.